Is it too early to say Reed Sheppard is the greatest player in NBA history?
During the year.
Oh, wow. He went mixtape. Oh, he was deep in his bag, like the fries were at the bottom.
Okay, it might be too early to say that, but it's not too early to say the Houston Rockets and their fans should be doing cartwheels right now after what we've seen from Reed Sheppard through 4 Summer League games. Because what you want from your number 3 overall pick is for them to look like they don't belong in Summer League. Well, Reed Sheppard looks like a multi-time All-Star that just got thrown into Summer League as a joke. Because through 4 games, he's averaging 20 points, 5 boards, and 5 assists per game. And it's clearly not just us regular viewers that have been impressed, because both Trae Young and Ja Morant, 2 of the best small guards in this league, have already given Reed the stamp of approval. You even had Mark Price make a rare tweet saying that there are some clear similarities between the two. And for anyone who knows just how good Mark Price was, that is very big praise. And it's much more than just the numbers. Everything you could have hoped to see from him, you were seeing. I mean, one thing's for certain, we're always going to see him knock down some threes. But just because we knew Reed was an all-time great shooter, doesn't mean we should take for granted that in his first Summer League game, he was casually pulling up from the logo. And my favorite part about this play is just look at the wry smile from Ime Udoka. That's the smile of a man realizing he just added an absolute stud to his already stacked young team. Or in this play, where off the Whitmore pass, it's just an effortless release from about 28 feet. But the best part about Reed's Summer League is you saw the 3-point range and efficiency in game 1, but the other 3 games, he's actually struggled shooting the 3. And that's good. How? Well, because someone doesn't shoot 50% from college if they aren't a great shooter. He will figure out the shooting. But the question marks were over what else could he bring you? Is there enough in his game to be a legitimate point guard or high-level creator for a top-tier team? Well, it's only 4 games of Summer League, and he has had his turnover issues. That is one thing, but so far, the answer is yes. Look at him here backing the ball all the way out, getting the screen, and it's that crossover to create separation, and watch him push the ball out to avoid the turnover before a really tough teardrop over the top of Alex Sarr. That was 3 different defenders that he had to contend with on just 1 possession, and he made it look effortless. Or in this play where he gets that initial screen, getting the defender on his back, and then having the ability to rise up and knock down the jumper. And what I love about Reed's creation off the dribble is there's no wasted movements. When you think about a lot of the best scorers in the league, pretty much every move they make is purposeful. Even a guy like Kyrie Irving. We always see the crazy highlights of him pulling off 6 dribble combos, but 95% of his buckets involve a sharp change of direction or 1 or 2 quick moves to free himself up. Reed has been doing that to perfection. Just look at him on this play, where he beats the first defender with the cross, and it's that hesitation to freeze both defenders before rising up for the jumper. Those are the kind of plays that translate at the NBA level, because there's no real form of defense for such quick and decisive movement. It's also harder to guard when you consider he can go by you and get to the rim if you get up too close, like he did on this play where he utilized the lob threat to freeze the big before getting downhill with the finger roll. Or even a play like this, which I love, as he gets the initial screen, but with Sarr at the level, it's just a couple of hesitations to push Sarr back before then getting the elevation to shoot over the trailing defender. Also, in the simplest terms, how comfortable does he look? Generally speaking, all the best scorers and mid-range players make it look like they're playing at a different pace to everyone else. That's the best way to describe how Reed has played so far in Summer League. It's not just the mid-range either. As a smaller guard, you have to have every single move in your arsenal to be successful. One of the best assets you can have is a floater, because it allows you to manipulate the defense at will, with the ability to decide on the fly between using the floater or throwing the lob. We've already seen Reed use an array of floaters and running bank shots doing just that. Another thing that's been great about his scoring in Summer League is the off-ball play. Not just hitting catch-and-shoot jumpers, but coming off pin downs and hitting mid-range jumpers as well. Like here, where at speed, it's that 1 dribble pull-up going right. For him to have averaged 20 points a game on 50% from the field, whilst barely barely making a 3-point shot since the first game of Summer League, that is as promising as you could ever hope for when it comes to projecting his scoring going forward. Unless, of course, you believe he magically won't be able to shoot. If that's the case, I'd make a very sizable bet that you would be wrong in believing that. Now, the scoring has been one thing, but we've seen him do absolutely everything. And admittedly, like I said before, he's had more turnovers than you would have hoped for, but that's natural for someone who has increased his responsibility going from college to the NBA. Normally it's the other way around, so he's still figuring out how to deal with more defensive pressure and more responsibility. Even with that being said, his passing has stood out. Just look at him here bringing the ball up in transition, and it's just how in control he is, sliding past the first defender before then just pausing the pass for a second to freeze Sarr, and then finding Whitmore, who does what Cam Whitmore does. Or how about this play where Reed has the ball about 28 feet out, and immediately you see the effect of his range, because just look how close the defender is to him. What this does is allow Reed to reject the screen, crossing the defender, and then look at the change of speed before throwing an absolute dime to the corner shooter. Even a play like this just gives you an idea of Reed's overall feel. The ball gets swung to him, he fakes the first defender out, drives into the paint, recognizes the big stepping up, so instead it drops the backdoor dime to a cutting Whitmore. And there are two aspects of that play that makes me excited. Reed's ability to recognize the cutter, and also the team that he is going to be playing on. If there is one team with an abundance of athletic players that know how to and when to cut, Houston is that team. And I think there have been enough signs to suggest he has legit star potential as an offensive weapon. He's not just someone who's going to spot up or shoot threes like some people projected. Another aspect of his game that has translated so far from college to Summer League has been his defensive anticipation. There are always question marks over his size, but some of the anticipation he has on defense really can't be taught. Just look at him here, Reed, no pun intended, the Wizards' action recognizing his matchup popping out to the 3-point line, so he jumps the Sarr pass and then leaks out in transition. Or even a play like this with him backpedaling against the shifty Rob Dillingham. Look how quick his hands are to slap the ball away, and then the composure to casually keep the ball in bounds. And these are really just glimpses of some of the plays Reed can make on defense. Even as a 6'2" guard, you saw him nearly block a shot a game at Kentucky, sometimes rotating over and blocking players at the rim frequently, or closing out on players and blocking 3-point jumpers, which again just shows the level of anticipation that he's working with. Now, he's not perfect defensively, he still gets caught ball watching sometimes, but the anticipation and the instincts are definitely there. I know everyone was told this draft didn't have star upside. Well, that's not what I've seen so far from Reed Sheppard and some of the other rookies in this class. Now, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video and want to see more content like this all throughout the offseason and just going forward, consider subscribing. It's free. Dropping a like on the video would be much appreciated. Either way, have a very great day.